Another calm night for Kyiv. There is one dead and several wounded. The fire in the Desnyansky district is still being extinguished. The results of the coalition meeting in London and in the Kyiv region, preparations are underway for the opening of a unique illumination festival. Like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next news releases. This is TSN Online. Hello, my name is Valeria Kovalinska. Let's get started. Another Russian attack on the capital. One person was killed and another 10 Kyiv residents were injured to varying degrees. 3 of them have been hospitalized. Around 5 in the morning, the enemy attacked Kyiv with ballistic missiles. There were very loud explosions in the city and large fires broke out. The State Emergency Service reported strikes in 3 districts of the city: Desnyansky, Dnipropetrovsk and Darnitsky. In particular, in the Darnitsky district, a missile hit the ground nearby, near residential buildings and a kindergarten. Videos of the huge crater are being shared on social media. Suspilne News. A kindergarten was also damaged in the Dnipropetrovsk district and in Desnyansky as well. At one of the locations, a non-residential building caught fire. Firefighters are still trying to bring the intense blaze under control. The fire is so massive that columns of smoke have covered almost the entire capital. Rescuers even deployed a helicopter. Preliminarily, there are no casualties there. Also, at another address, debris fell on an open area, damaging the window glazing of nearby buildings. Rescuers and relevant services are still working at the sites of the strikes. Olena Hushchik will tell you more about the situation in the Desnyansky district.
I am currently working in the Desnyansky district of the capital. Here, as of 9 a.m., rescuers are still at work. They're extinguishing the fire that broke out around 4 in the morning. It's an entirely civilian facility, a tire service, an auto repair shop. As you can see, the fire behind me is mostly gone, but the smoke is still spreading. Preliminarily, there are no casualties at this location, and the firefighters continue their work.
However, after a terrible and loud night, the city is quickly recovering and life goes on. For example, this market in the Desnyansky district opened on schedule. On Saturday morning, many Kyiv residents are used to shopping at the market, but amid the usual hustle and bustle, you can now see thick smoke from fires at the sites of enemy strikes. Still, some people stick to their routines even early in the morning. They go out to the water to shake off the stress of the night, to go fishing. People at the market share what they experienced and heard during the night, but everyone is sure of one thing: we will endure.
It's a very chilling fear.
So is this how we work now?
Yes, everyone works like this now. And there are no elections, so you have to go out and earn a living.
Are the sales going?
Well, it's so-so for now. People aren't very active after the night.
So tell me, did you hear it? The big explosion?
Of course, and the fire was burning so much that even 12 hours later in front of the school, for us, it was just such an explosion, such a blast that one time in the morning I fell there 2 houses away and people acted like nothing happened and they didn't even mention Sinu.
And the trading is still going on?
Nothing, just rubble and debris.
9 ballistic missiles. The enemy launched Iskander-M missiles at Ukraine last night. 4 of them, as well as about 50 drones, were destroyed by Ukraine's air forces. In total, the enemy directed more than 60 attack UAVs at our country's territory. Drones of the Shahed, Geran and other types were launched from the directions of Kursk, Oryol and the territories of temporarily occupied Crimea. Our air defenders repelled the enemy attack in the north, south and east of the country. According to the Air Force, impacts from 5 ballistic missiles and 12 attack drones were recorded at 11 locations. In Lozova, Kharkiv region, the Russians damaged railway infrastructure. A 43-year-old woman was injured. Train traffic is disrupted. 2 people were killed and 7 injured in the Sinelnikivsky district of Dnipropetrovsk region. The enemy struck with missiles and drones. 3 communities were affected. One of the deceased was a rescuer. Another rescuer was wounded. This happened in the Petropavlivska community. The Russians launched a second strike while state emergency service workers were dealing with the aftermath of the previous attack. A woman was also killed. 2 fire and rescue vehicles and a store were damaged. There were also fires in the Nikopol and Pavlohrad districts. Infrastructure was damaged there. In Kherson, the aftermath of the previous day's attack is being dealt with. As a result, there are 2 dead and 28 wounded in the city. In the courtyards of 30 damaged apartment buildings, there are craters and unexploded shells. There are many burned-out apartments. Public transport has been damaged, and more than 60 private houses have been affected. Among the injured are 3 children and 4 utility workers. The UK will speed up the production of 5,000 light multi-purpose missiles for Ukraine to help protect our energy sector during the cold season. And France, in the coming days, will deliver additional Aster air defense missiles and Mirage fighter jets to our country. These are, in particular, the results of the meeting of the coalition of willing countries in London, attended by President Volodymyr Zelensky. The leaders of Denmark, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and the head of NATO were joined online by the President of France and the Prime Minister of Japan. The head of the British government, Keir Starmer, stated that Ukraine's partners aim to severely restrict Russian oil and gas access to global markets by the end of this year in order to further drain the Russian economy. Earlier, Volodymyr Zelensky met with King Charles III of Britain, and during his meeting with Prime Minister Starmer, Zelensky demonstrated the Ukrainian interceptor drone Octopus. The United Kingdom will manufacture these for further testing in Ukraine. The agreement provides for the production of the first batch.
We are very grateful for your willingness to provide us with assistance. We have agreed to continue supporting aid to Ukraine next year. We talked about resilience, about the need for financial support, which is absolutely essential.
The sanctions that the United States has imposed against the largest Russian oil companies will deprive them of revenue and significantly strengthen the pressure on Putin. Ukraine continues to defend itself bravely, and our support is yielding results. The truth is that Putin is running out of money, troops, and ideas. Thank you. President Trump put it very well. They must stop where they are now. And now is exactly the time to increase the pressure on Russia.
In the Zhytomyr region, a man detonated a grenade on the platform. 4 dead, 11 injured. On a military train in Ovruch, State Border Guard Service officers were checking passengers' documents. At that moment, one of the men on the platform pulled out a grenade with the pin already removed. The explosive device detonated. The perpetrator himself was killed. He was a 23-year-old resident of Kharkiv. 2 women also died instantly, one of them a border guard. 11 people were injured and taken to the hospital. There, another passenger, an 82-year-old woman, died from her injuries. The Ovruch City Hospital told TSN that as of the evening, 3 injured border guards, one of whom is in serious condition, were transferred to the capital's military hospital. 7 civilian victims remain in the local medical facility. All are in moderate condition.
3 border guards were hospitalized in Kyiv today. One of the border guards, who truly saved people's lives by shielding them with his own body, is also in serious condition. He was also hospitalized in Kyiv. All 7 people we have here are civilians and are currently in our hospital. Most of the injuries are laceration. The wounds are mostly shrapnel injuries, you could say.
Residents of the 5-story building on Kyiv's Otradny district will be able to access and stay in their building's shelter without any obstacles if needed. The head of the local district administration assured people of this. A scandal erupted a week ago around the shelter in a residential building in the Solomiansky district of the capital, when residents found out that the basement, which had served as their refuge during air raids, was actually private property. According to them, one day a supposed new owner of the premises appeared in their yard and tried to put locks on the doors. However, the locals did not allow this to happen. It is known that after an inspection back in June 2023, this shelter was deemed unsuitable for protecting the population. And it was removed from the Civil Protection Protective Structures Fund. And although the local authorities offered alternative options nearby, people continued to use it. Because according to them, getting to other shelters is either too far or those facilities are in much worse condition. What outraged the residents most was how, during wartime, the shelter could have ended up in private ownership. However, at a meeting with the local authorities, it was explained that this happened many years ago. And now the administration has held a conversation with the current owners. And they agreed that during martial law, the owners would not interfere in any way. And what about your building? Do you have access to a shelter during air raid alerts? Be sure to write about it in the comments to this broadcast on YouTube. And of course, like the video and subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, I'll continue. This is the TSN online broadcast. In the Kyiv region, preparations are underway for the opening of a unique illumination festival. A town with kilometers of garlands is being created in a dendrological park near Kyiv. Work began in the fall to have time to install more than 50 light installations. What unusual art objects are being created for the festival? And why, to immerse yourself in the New Year's atmosphere, should you go not to Lapland but to the Kyiv region? And what will the country's main Christmas tree be like this year? Natalia Kachuk found out.
Thousands of bright lanterns and Christmas ornaments. The largest dendrological park near Kyiv is already turning into a real little town. Of illuminations, 15,000 baubles and hundreds of meters of colorful garlands. That's how much the designers needed to create just one of more than 50 locations at the Illumination Festival. No new decorations were purchased. They used the ones that decorated the country's main Christmas tree in 2022.
Over the past 12 years, we've accumulated plenty of illuminations from the main Christmas tree. And in our storage, that's already about
800, maybe even 1,000 kilometers of garlands. So since we can't do things at Sofijska Square the way we did in peacetime, we just used what we already had in storage.
Ihor Dobrutsky is involved in organizing large-scale art projects. It is his company that installs and decorates the main Christmas tree on Sofijska Square in the capital. This year, he told TSN, it will be taller than last year's. And it will look more natural. The Festival of Illuminations is another project by Dobrutsky. It is being created on the territory of Dobropark. This year, they are preparing unique art objects here. Dobrutsky teases that there has never been anything like this in Ukraine before. We
will have special installations that sing and talk. In fact, we want to create a refined story of the winter atmosphere so that the very heart of New Year's beauty moves here from Lapland, a little bit closer to us.
At the entrance to the Festival of Illuminations, visitors will be greeted by a giant figure of a New Year's reindeer. The trees and landscape compositions of the park will also be transformed into vibrant photo zones.
Our foundation is the Dendropark. We have a wonderful collection of hydrangeas and lavender. And all of this comes to life in a new way with the help of illumination in winter. This year we are adding new unique colors to the illumination. For example, the lavender field will be pink. And there will be warm-colored snowflakes, which will create a sense of coziness, calm, and harmony.
The main highlight of the Illumination Festival, according to the director, will be a trendy Christmas tree. It will be decorated with popular fluffy Labubu toys.
Labubu is a symbol of joy, unity, and a child's discovery of the world. And it has become beloved by millions of people. That's why our main Christmas tree will be white with these toys. There will be both large and small ones.
And next to the Christmas trees, there will be an ice rink in operation. Its construction is currently underway, as is the installation of other displays. In total, more than 700 kilometers of lights will be used for decoration this year.
We have our own generator, which covers the entire park in case of a power outage. Our lighting is energy efficient. Altogether, it consumes about as much as a single professional coffee machine, roughly speaking, so it's not very costly.
The Illumination Festival will open on the very first day of winter.
Winter begins on December 1st, and on December 1st we are open for visits, to give you this emotion.
Natalia Tkachuk, Yevhen Litvinenko, Anatoly Korop, TSN 1+1. Marathon. United News.
That's all from me for now. Write in the comments which news story impressed you the most, or perhaps outraged you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you at 1 p.m.